Hello, how are you? Airport security, or what is often referred to as the Transportation Security Administration, TSA, their primary mission is to inspect passengers and their belongings. No flight takes off or lands unless every person on board has passed through them and their security devices. In a single day, they receive hundreds, if not thousands, of passengers. Most of their bags are filled with routine items, but that doesn't stop airport security from occasionally encountering things that you would never imagine a normal person would travel with, some dangerous, some prohibited, and some containing a living soul. With the evolution of inspection methods and modern devices that reveal the slightest detail, a large number of passengers who attempt to travel with unpermitted items are always discovered during the first inspection. Welcome! I am Firas, and in this episode, we will talk about the strangest things airport security has ever discovered. Before we begin, if you are new to the channel, please consider subscribing and activating the bell so you can receive our videos as soon as they are released. In 2005, at Melbourne Airport in Australia, conditions inside the airport were stable and security was performing its duty perfectly. Until Ms. Smith arrived at the inspection point en route to Singapore, the security officer felt something suspicious. Her bag was normal and there was nothing to raise suspicion. However, what caught the attention of the security officers was a strange gurgling water sound coming from her when she moved. When they decided to conduct a full search, they found that she was wearing a skirt shaped like a mobile fish tank underneath her clothes. The skirt contained 51 tropical fish distributed in an organized manner inside plastic bags filled with water. The astonishing thing was that all of them were healthy and swimming. The fish were Asian arowana, an endangered species whose value exceeded $30,000. Naturally, importing or dealing with this species requires specific files and permits, which she did not possess at all. She was interrogated and questioned, and eventually she was charged with 3 offenses and had to pay a large fine and serve a 10-month prison sentence. On March 2, 2019, while inspecting passengers inside Berlin Airport, security was checking a 69-year-old man. The man had arrived in Germany on a flight from Cairo. Although the man's appearance didn't suggest any trouble, if you looked closely and knew his story, you would realize he was a piece of work. The man had 3 small Nile crocodiles protected under the Convention on International Trade in Endangered Species CITES. It was clear he intended to sell them in Germany. The interesting part is how he concealed the crocodiles in his bag in a somewhat clever way. He hid the crocodiles inside a famous candy store's boxes to make it look like he was bringing them as gifts for his friends at the airport. He actually managed to pass the candy boxes through several gates without anyone discovering them. But he was finally stopped by the border guard who interrogated him. When they opened the boxes, they were surprised to find the crocodiles inside. Naturally, the crocodiles were confiscated, and he became involved in a species protection case, the penalty for which is a fine ranging from $50,000 to $55,000, in addition to a period of criminal imprisonment that can reach up to 5 years. In 2011, at Bangkok Suvarnabhumi Airport in Thailand, while checking some bags registered in the name of a person arriving from Dhaka, the capital of Bangladesh, the airport's devices identified strange creatures in the bags. The owner of the bags had already left and vanished. The man had 4 registered bags. 3 contained 451 tortoises and turtles of various species, and 1 bag contained 7 small gavial crocodiles. However, the person himself was not present during the inspection, and he was never arrested. The incident was named the Crocodile Hunter Incident. In fact, we can call Bangkok Airport the Airport of Wonders. In 2010, something very strange happened at the airport. Among the passengers was a 31-year-old woman boarding a flight from Thailand to Iran. Honestly, no matter how hard I ask you to imagine what the woman was trying to smuggle through the airport, you wouldn't guess. The woman was trying to smuggle a big cat, apparently starting a new type of trade. She had set her mind on it, prepared a large bag, and filled it with a large amount of children's toys. Amidst the toys, she placed a 2-month-old tiger cub and completely concealed it, hoping to sell it upon arrival and make a fortune. But unfortunately, the plan failed when the airport devices revealed the contents of the bag. Consequently, she not only lost the money she had invested, but she was also arrested and fined around $2,000. Take me with you in your bag when you travel. We often say this as a joke to relatives or acquaintances who are about to travel, but one person somewhere on Earth took this idea seriously. This person was a 42-year-old man from Côte d'Ivoire living in the Spanish Canary Islands. He attempted to smuggle his son into Spain via Morocco by paying an amount of money to a woman who was traveling, asking her to take his son with her in a suitcase. Of course, the first time the bag passed through the X-ray devices, it showed that there was a person inside the bag. Security officers quickly intervened. When they opened the bag, they discovered a child was indeed inside. Speaking of people taking others with them in bags, a similar incident occurred at an airport in Peru, South America. But the astonishing thing was that the one inside the bag was not a small child, he was an adult. Apparently, a good friend decided to travel, but he wouldn't travel without his friend, so he put him in a bag, seemingly with his consent, to take him to the airport. However, at the first inspection point in Peru airport, the plan failed and they discovered there was a person inside the bag. Enough with the jokes and warnings, let's talk about a terrifying situation and focus on this one. A strange and very exciting incident happened in 2013 at O'Hare International Airport in Chicago, USA. Airport security, specifically those responsible for inspecting cargo moving in and out of the airport, discovered a strange box among the goods passing through. When they opened it, they found severed human heads, flesh and bone. There were 18 heads in total. The matter was a huge shock at the airport. The biggest question was, where were these heads going? What brought them here? But the situation eased somewhat when it was finally revealed that the heads belonged to a research organization in Rome. The heads were supposed to reach a facility near Chicago, but due to a mistake in the paperwork, the box took a different route and entered the cargo lane at O'Hare International Airport in Chicago. At the same airport we just talked about, a person decided to make trouble and disrupt things for no reason. If the previous time seemed accidental, this time, the person deliberately put a fake bomb inside his bag and passed it through the airport gates. The first scan of his bag clearly showed the bomb under the X-ray. Immediately, airport security called in a bomb squad from the police department before opening the bag to determine if the situation warranted evacuating the airport and delaying flights or not. But after inspection, they finally discovered that the bomb was just a toy. And naturally, the individual was arrested. Speaking of bombs, the story we will tell now, despite its danger, is also funny, and absolutely no harm was intended. A diver, during an exploratory trip into the ocean depths, found an artillery shell on a shipwreck dating back to the 18th century. He considered it a golden opportunity for people who like to hang strange items on their shelves. The idea is that he decided to take the shell with him and go home. He placed the shell in his bag very casually. At the inspection point, the situation was not okay. Seriously, there was a bomb in the bag. The alarming thing was that when they inspected the shell, they discovered it was still active and could explode at any moment if exposed to high heat or pressure. Airport security decided to evacuate the terminal area where 3 flights were scheduled to take off, and they had to evacuate about 300 passengers to ensure everyone's safety. All this happened because one person wanted to keep a souvenir and hang it on a shelf. Now that we have talked today about the strangest things discovered by airport security, what should we talk about in the next videos? Write it in the comments. And if you like the video, don't forget to hit like and share.